Today I want to share with you a few very important things which if I was looking for a video like that, I would want to listen about it, and let's hope that this is also helpful for you. My name is Agnes. I live in India with my kids and my husband, and we're traveling India whenever we can. I'm also an accountant by profession and YouTuber by passion, and now certified yoga teacher as well. So the things that I want to mention to you is, why did I do it? Was I a beginner, or did I have any experience with yoga before? What's the price of such course? Why this particular shala and why in Goa? My overall experience and the teacher that I met, the schedule, the exams, and what did we do in a free time. Also, people that I met along the way and the future plans. If that interests you, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to the channel, and let's dive right into it. So why did I do it? Why did I come to sign up to yoga teachers training course? First of all, I love doing yoga. I've been doing yoga for the last 5 years, and just for the last year, and especially 6 months when I knew I'm going to be doing this, I was really deepening my understanding of my practice and how my body and breath works together, and I fell in love with it. I was also doing strength training. I knew that I have to prepare my body for the physical workout that I'm going to have to do during the lessons, because I knew it's going to be intense. I just didn't know how intense it will be, and I would say on beginner/intermediate level. So if you're wondering whether you could be signing up to this yoga teacher training course as a beginner, you totally could, because within the 3 weeks you really learn a whole lot about yoga, not just yoga but other things which I'll mention in a minute. So you will have time to practice, and there are people that are signing up to this as beginners. It is a little challenging, especially if you haven't been doing much physical activities before coming here, because it is quite physically demanding. However, it is not impossible to do it and to complete it and be a successful yoga teacher. And also, why did I pick 200 hours? Well, 100 hours is for someone who has no idea about yoga, I guess, and they just want to do a short course. 200 hours is when you just want to do the beginners kind of teacher training. 300 hours is a little bit more advanced level, and then you can also complete 500 hours, for example. But the 200 hours teacher training course that I did is certified by RYS, which is Registered Yoga Teacher certification, which means I can teach all around the world having the certification. The price of such course varies from place to place, and I would say in India is probably the cheapest you find. And since India is a home to yoga, is where the yoga first started, I would say why not in India? It's like the house of yoga, right? And you can find yoga training online, but I just think nothing beats the personal experience when you're actually here immersed in a whole experience of doing yoga while studying all the theory and philosophy. So I think that's the best way forward. The price that I paid was $700, and I did manage to get a discount online. And if you do manage to get a discount, you may get it just as cheaply as I did. But usually you pay around $1,000, maybe even more if you want to stay a single in accommodation. I have chosen the room to share because I thought, why not? I might as well just make a new friends, which happens to be the case. So I was quite lucky to have been in a room with a really nice girl, which I'll talk about a little bit later in the video. So why this particular yoga shala? When I was doing my research, actually, I didn't look for any particular yoga shala. I didn't know much about it, but I read the reviews, I read the opinions, and also I kind of looked what they offer, and I quite liked what they offered here. It wasn't too intense. Some other shalas do 3 yogas in a day. This one did 2, which was kind of at the level where I wanted to be. Also, the price was quite suitable, so I think it offers really great value for money. And I had an idea that I should do it in Rishikesh initially, but then when I looked at Goa, that the same shala had a branch in Goa, I was like, there's no brainer that I want to do it in Goa, because I absolutely love Goa and I love coming back to this place. So this time I've come to South Goa, but normally when I visited Goa, I was in the north side, so I was really excited to be coming to the south part of Goa, which worked out great. This yoga shala is really excellent for teaching yoga, and I would highly recommend. My overall experience was just fantastic. And yes, I was going to tell you about my overall experience. Overall, I could not wish for better experience. I have been away from home for 25 days, which is a long time, and tomorrow actually I'm leaving. I miss my family crazy. For the first week was like nice because I was enjoying just being here, not having kids around, because as much as I love them, sometimes we mummies do need a time off from the children as well, and husband as well. So it was really nice to be away from home for the first week. Then eventually it started to kick in. I really missed them. If it wasn't for me missing my family that much, I would have given it 5 out of 5, honestly. But otherwise, because of the aspect of how long it takes, it's nearly a month away from home, it is quite a long time. And I appreciate that not every woman would get that opportunity to follow the passion through and sign up to things like that. Also, I wanted to mention that the teachers here are absolutely amazing. We have actually 3 teachers. One is that teaches us Hatha Yoga and alignment classes. The second one teaches us pranayama and philosophy of yoga. And the third one teaches us Ashtanga, Yin and Vinyasa styles of yoga. So the teachers that are here are really highly qualified and super experienced, and managed to teach us everything we needed to know about yoga within the last month. There was a certain schedule that we followed on a daily basis and was sent to us always ahead of time, so we could kind of have a look what's coming up. But usually the day began at 7 o'clock, where we had our Hatha Yoga, starting with the warm-up, building up through Surya Namaskar, Hatha, which is the traditional or classical version of yoga. Then we would have a pranayama class, which is a breathing class where we've learned all different types and techniques of breathing, and we've practiced that as well, which was really nice. Then the next thing was that we had a breakfast, so we didn't actually eat anything until nearly 10 o'clock, which was quite challenging for some people that were not used to the idea of having a breakfast, because I've always been doing intermittent fasting, so I've never had breakfast up until the time that I've returned from the gym, but I did have a coffee. And I must say, not having a coffee the first week was really giving me a big headache. I am constantly tired and got lots of headaches. I think I was really suffering with the withdrawal symptoms from caffeine, because I was literally having such a terrible headache that wasn't even going away with paracetamol. But once in a while I went into the city here and I managed to get myself a nice cup of coffee, which felt really nice. So yeah, but the breakfast was always really nice, and overall the food was fantastic. I mean, we ate Indian and Indian only, so there was always some rice, some rotis or chapatis, and sometimes puri even, and we had all sorts of sabjis, porridge for breakfast, maybe some suji or even idli. And last night was like a reward, because we've passed our exams last night. We've managed to ask our chef to cook some momos and pasta for us, which he did, and it was just amazing. The chef here is just absolutely amazing, so we really enjoy the food. But I must say, eating vegetarian and so much of Indian food every single day is not what I'm used to, so I'm quite missing going back to the routine of my own food and just cooking myself some non-Indian food. But yeah, I was talking about schedule, wasn't I? So carry on from the breakfast, we were going out to have another session of philosophy, followed by alignment classes. And in alignment classes, we used to learn about each and every particular pose, how you should enter into the pose, exit from the pose, what are the contraindications, what are the benefits of each pose, what should you as a teacher look out in the students and how to correct them and align them, the modifications and variations of each and every single pose. So we've studied pretty much all the very basic pose, because there is obviously 84,000 or 84 million of poses of asanas. Anything could be an asana, but those that are taught in a classical and vinyasa style yoga, we have gone through and learned about the adjustments and alignments of each of them. Then there would be a lunchtime, and lunch again was a sabji, rice and maybe some rotis or dal. You know, food was really nice. And then the next thing, we would have had 2 hours of free time. Sometimes we would have had the treatment class, where I've managed to get a back treatment 3 times, and I've managed to have an oil therapy of my hair as well. So that treatment was really nice. And we also had a mud therapy 3 times or twice, where they put mud across your tummy and on your face, which is supposed to have like cleansing effect and heats up your digestive system, and supposed to like cleanse you out, which was really, really cool experience. What was it then? Oh yeah, then after that we had at 5 o'clock we usually had either Ashtanga, Vinyasa or Yin Yoga, which was done by a really excellent teacher. He pushed us, guys. When I say someone pushed you, is when you're dripping sweat while you're exercising. And the yogas were very challenging. We learned the whole first series of Ashtanga, which is the one that you have to learn while you're doing your 200 hours. And Ashtanga is challenging, guys, especially if you finish the whole sequence. It takes like 1 hour 45 minutes plus Vinyasa, so you're there for like 2 hours doing yoga and you're drenched after that. But at the same time, I've never had yoga teacher that pushed me so hard, so it was really, really great. This guy was just amazing. And then another thing is that we had meditation. So each evening yoga class was following by the meditation. And again, we've learned different styles of meditation, and it was really, really nice experience to do that, because I was doing a bit of meditations myself, but it was never that much in depth, and it was always guided, and I found to not be able to focus so much. So I've learned how to actually regain the focus throughout the lessons here. Now the exams, guys, I mean, nothing comes for free, and though I've paid for the course, I still had to sit the exam. And the first exam was the practical. So in the practical exam, I had to come up with chosen style of yoga and deliver 1 hour class to my fellow students. So I've chosen Vinyasa style, and I have scripted the whole thing. I was supposed to practice it, but I didn't kind of find the time to do it. So instead of practicing it, I just sort of scanned it through, and imagine it was 1 hour and I think 1 minute in total. And I had very positive feedback from my teacher, who was actually attending the class as well that I was teaching. And he said that I've made few mistakes in terms of names, because you can appreciate these are all Sanskrit names, and I was trying to use vast majority of them. But it was my first class that I was teaching under the pressure of exam and under the pressure of a teacher doing it with you. So you can appreciate it was quite challenging and stressful. But nevertheless, I enjoyed it. I really loved it. And the second exam that we had to sit was the written exam, and we didn't know what sort of questions would they be, because they don't give you questions ahead of time. They just kind of guide you, and they give you study material right at the beginning, so you have to study through the whole book while you're doing the classes and memorize as much as you can and kind of try to understand, because the philosophy and the whole history of yoga is so extent, and we just had to literally learn the basis, because there's just so much to it. But yeah, I've managed to pass. I've answered all the questions and all of them were correct, so I guess I did quite well. So that's happened yesterday, and I'm so glad that all 3 of us passed. I mean, in my little group was 3 people. Before, when I joined in, there was 5 people just before us practicing yoga and trying to pass the exam. Sorry, 6 people actually. Yeah, there were 6 people. And now there is also 3 people doing the yoga that came after the first group finished. So they kind of rotate people that are doing like 1.5 week, then the next group comes and they start from beginning, and then when we finish there will be another group coming as well, which is quite nice, because we get to know quite a lot of people that come and kind of have the same interests, right? So let's talk about free time. As I've mentioned, in between of the lessons we had some free time, which if you wanted to, and you should do, you should spend as study time. But I usually did my studies in the evening, so that's why in the daytime we just want to take advantage of the sun, and we usually used to go to the beach. Then Sundays as well we were off, so the classes were going on from Monday to Saturday, and on Sundays we used to have a day off. One time there was an organized trip from the shala itself. They have asked us whether we wanted to have a trip, and we agreed to this. We went to a spice garden, and also we went to a waterfall, which was excellent experience. The spice garden was so beautiful, and I will put together the whole vlog just from that one day, because there was a lot to cover and I wanted to show you guys. But also on the following Sunday, me and the girls went to Palalan Beach, which is the beach still in the same region of Goa, and also to just do some shopping around, which was really nice. Yeah, in general, we were just walking around the beach, or maybe just going to have a coffee or a cake. Sometimes, occasionally, we got ice cream. I think, but too often to what I wanted to, because I was really hoping that for the whole stay that I was here, I'm not gonna touch sweets. And I failed, because I had a few times an ice cream and a cake, but nevertheless I still did quite well. I just was trying to stay as healthy as possible during the time that I'm here, and I failed, but doesn't matter, I enjoyed myself. The next thing that I wanted to talk to you guys is people that I've met. Now, I think this is the most wonderful thing that happens when you come to retreats like that, is the people that you meet along the way. I've met the most wonderful people, and I think I've made friendships for life. We're definitely gonna stay in touch, especially with the two girls that I was hanging around on a regular basis. So I've met this beautiful girl, Vandela, which we named Bendy Vendy because she is just so flexible and she performs yoga so beautifully. She is also a very beautiful Swedish blonde girl who writes a beautiful music, guys. How is she not a huge star yet? I don't know, but you guys can do a bit for me and follow her Spotify account. I'm gonna link this in the description below, and if you listen to her music once, I'm sure you will fall in love. It's all in English and it's just beautiful. She's got an angel voice, and again, I'm just shocked how is she not yet a superstar, but it's up to you. Maybe you can help out to push her career a little bit forward. Anyway, there was also another British girl that stayed in me as my roommate, and we've made such a bond. We have laughed so much together, and the girl was just amazing because, you know, I was there by myself missing my family, so we kind of kept each other company and we could kind of share all the kind of experiences that we had in life, which was wonderful. So I am pretty sure that I will keep in touch with both of them. I will put on the comments their handles if you wanted to follow the Instagram, because Helen loves India, by the way. So the British girl that came to India to travel India, and she fell in love with this country and she loves traveling around here, and she does post quite a lot of crazy stories on her profile, so you can check it out as well. Next thing I wanted to talk about is the premises that we stayed at, which I didn't actually mention at the beginning that I wanted to talk about this, but I think it's quite important. This is definitely not a 5-star hotel. It is very much, how do I put it? It's like being with nature, in the nature. We stayed in little rooms which were built literally out of wood, and it had a shower with a cold water, which sometimes was a blessing when you're feeling hot and sweaty, but sometimes when the evenings were being a little cold, to have a really cold shower can be a little bit challenging for me. I'm not used to it, I must say. I always have a warm shower, but I embraced it. Also the rooms, you know, because everything is open and there is a lot of nature around us. There was quite a lot of bugs, ants, wasps, mosquitoes. Oh my god, the mosquitoes were just absolutely killing us. I've got like millions of bites all over my body, but never mind. This is just part of experience. Yeah, the standard is okay, you know. This is not a 5-star hotel, as I said. It's all very natural, but nevertheless, this has not stopped me from having excellent time. It's good to kind of, you know, sometimes step outside of your comfort zone and experience something different, which is what happened for the last month. I survived, I'm fine, nothing's happened to me, except I've managed to hurt my toe. Right before my first lesson, I dropped a wooden block. So they don't have foamy blocks, they have a proper wooden block, and I dropped that on my toe. I've hurt my toe until today. My toe is not fully functioning and I cannot bend it backwards and forwards. I'll show you guys that as well, but it is what it is. I've managed to carry on doing my yoga and, you know, just learn to not to bend my toes too much. And that's the last thing that I wanted to mention is my future plans. Some of you might be wondering, what's next? What are you going to do? Are you going to become a teacher? Well, I'm hoping so. I'm hoping so, to be teaching yoga. I will definitely go back to my gym routine, which I was doing until now. And I was thinking maybe in my society I can be teaching yoga. I will see how much it costs to actually hire the holder and just go advertise it around and see who would be interested, because obviously I have to get some teaching hours and also some experience. Only good teachers are those that spend hours and hours of teaching, so I know that it will take some time and patience to become an excellent teacher, though I think I can do it just well. I'll become a great teacher, manifesting being an excellent yoga teacher. So that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, but if there is something that you think I might not have mentioned and you wanted to ask me a question, you know what to do. There are comment section below. Just drop the question there and I shall cover it. In the meantime, I wanted to thank you for watching, and I wanted to highly recommend Bhakti YogaShala. It is great value for money, guys. You're right by the beach. There's literally 5 minutes away from the beach, walking distance. There's loads of things to see around and you're surrounded with nature. What else not to love? If you love yoga and you wanted to become a teacher, or just wanted to deepen your understanding of doing yoga, this is an excellent place to come. Thank you so much, and don't forget to watch that video that I'm just linking, I think, here, and I'll see you soon.